Hey, what's happening, guys? The Real Napoleon here, and I'm bringing you a video kind of out of necessity, need, a want to help. Operation ATGM missile, Operation Summer 2.0 is in full swing, and some of the guys that hang out in my Discord were having some trouble with these marks of distinction. And I'll admit, even in the back in the day when I was new to the game, the marks of distinction sometimes can be a little tough if you don't know the secret to them. But let's jump into it, and I'll see if I can't give you guys some advice, kind of my way to grind them out. They're not too difficult once you get the knack of it, right? So you can see I've pulled up what the rewards are for the different marks, and the meat and potatoes of it. The good stuff is going to be 5 marks for the Martlet Mark IV, the Rank 2 British Premium, and then 9 marks for the FJ4B, the missile jet, and then for tankers, 2 marks for the Stug Puma. So overall, it's really not a bad event. I think this is a step in the right direction, or just maybe a step in a different direction. It definitely eliminates a lot of the marketplace out of the event, which I'm going to have a video coming out on my thoughts on the marketplace and kind of how it can be utilized by the players or how it can affect the players differently. But nevertheless, let's jump into the hangar and we'll talk about kind of some of the ways that I like to grind these events. So as you can see, I have my 4.0 American lineup pulled up, and it's pretty much all fighter. Well, it is all fighters, and this is my 4.0 money making silver line grinding lineup, as it would be anyways, just because these planes don't cost that much. Now, for the marks, you have to bust out a few different achievements, right? So if you go into your achievements and you go to Operation Summer, tasks for pilots, it'll show you kind of what we got going on here. And you have 5. You only need to do 3 out of 5. So you can see the 3 that I kind of feel are the easiest, the ones I went for. Destroy 35 players, 18 for RB, drop 10 tons of bombs on bases, assist uh, allies in killing enemy vehicles 20 times, gain 10 victories, and then destroy 11 player control vehicles. The 3 that I have checked off here are the ones I think are the easiest for a couple of reasons. One, destroy 35 players in arcade is super duper easy. Just jump into arcade, blow some stuff up, and keep grinding it. If you have at least a decent crew and you're halfway decent at flying, you should be able to knock that out in 2 or 3 matches, maybe 4. So you could definitely do that in one day in the course of like an hour or two. Drop 10 tons of bombs on enemy bases. I think that one's going to be a little harder because once people see a bomber up in the air, they automatically go for it. Your best bet if you're a bomber player is just side climb to the moon and then keep doing loops, dropping your bombs on the enemy bases. In one match I saw one guy drop 20 tons of bombs. So I know it's possible to do that one in one match. I just think it's kind of unlikely. If you're flying head on to try to just drop bombs as fast as possible, you're just going to end up getting blown up every single time and you're going to be pissed off. 20 assists. This one is super duper easy with a caveat. If you can spawn in with a squad, it's going to help because you guys can communicate better and work together as a team to do both the destructions and the assists. So 2 people will benefit from 1 enemy plane. Or if you don't have any friends to play with, just stick close to the friendly players in your team, and just naturally you'll start getting assists because the players are all focusing on kills as it is. So if you can burn an enemy tank, if you can burn an enemy plane, one of your guys, if they're close enough, are going to jump on that and try to get the kill, and that benefits you anyways. So if you get the kill, great. If you get the assist, cool. That works out great. Gain 10 victories. I don't like that task. You can see right here, I only did 3 out of 10. This relies a lot on your team not sucking, and I don't like playing RNG games when it comes to the team. Like, you can be number 1 every single time and still lose a match. So, especially when there's tasks like this where most of them focus on actually just killing, most people aren't doing objectives. So, there's that. And then destroy 11 player controlled vehicles using an aircraft in 1 battle. 4 for RB, 2 for SB. I'm going to say right off the bat, the pilot one do it in arcade. It's just much easier. You can respawn, even if you can have the argument that you have to do 4 in RB versus 11 kills in arcade. You still get respawn, so you have less kills per plane to deal with in arcade. It's just easier. Now that being said, you can see my lineup. Yeah, I know what the first thing everybody's gonna say. Oh, you spent golden eagles on your crew. Yeah, I have a lot of crew. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 crew. Whatever. You can get up to 5 with silver lines, and even if you have a 5 crew lineup, that's still only 2 to 3 planes killed per plane to do 11 kills in one match, which is not impossible. It's not even hard. You just have to play smart and really think about what you're doing. Now, with that being said, I think the lineup that you choose really is going to influence how easy these tasks are as well. So, as you can see, I have P51s and P47s all over the place, aside from, a Corsair and a P63 and whatever. 50 cals are going to make this super easy because you can just hose your enemy down and either you're going to burn them out or you're going to get assists. It just makes the whole entire task easier. But like I said, if you stick with your team and you work together to get assists and kills, you're going to knock out 2 of those tasks right away. The hardest one's going to be getting 11 kills in one game. And again, like I said, as long as you play smart and micromanage your tasks, just look at it in the small terms. 2 kills per plane, it's a super achievable task. And then you get it done, boom, it's over with. Now, the only thing to this event is the tasks reset every 2 days, and we only have about a month to do it. I think 20 days or something like that. So you can only miss 1 mark of distinction, and still get the FJ rocket jet. Now, if you miss a mark, you can always spend the $6 worth of golden eagles to buy it. So there's that. But obviously, we want to get this done for free. Now, on the flip side, you only have to do 2 marks to get the tank marks done, and we'll take a look at those right now. So, the tasks for tankers are destroy 40 player-controlled enemies, 20 for RB, 14 for simulator, capture 10 points, get assists in destroying enemy, gain 10 victories, and then destroy 11 player-controlled vehicles in one battle. These are probably about the same difficulty as the plane tasks, depending on how good of a tanker you are. This one is going to be a different set of advice, though. I would suggest doing this in tank RB because just killing things in general and cutting the amount of tanks you have to kill in half just makes your life a million times easier. So let's break it down here. Destroy 40 player controlled vehicles or 20 in RB. That's a no-brainer. Obviously, I did that one. Easy enough to grind in a couple matches. Not a couple matches, but easy enough to grind in, a couple hours worth of matches. Capture 10 points. This is going to be super dependent on the game mode that you get. If you get battle, that sucks. You're going to have a hard time doing that. But if you get any of the traditional conquest maps, just rush the cap. If you have the opportunity to wait for your team so everybody can get the cap. But obviously, if you have just 1 point to cap and it's just you and the enemy team, cap the point super fast and get your capture done with. Now, assists in destroying enemies. I hate that task. It's super hard because you have to work with your team. You have to rely on your team to finish the enemy off, and then at the end of the day, if you're focusing on that task, you're playing to not kill tanks, which defeats the purpose, right? Gain 10 victories. Same thing as air. You're relying on your team, and I just don't like having to rely on the team because you can be number 1 every single time and you can still lose over and over again. Especially how in ground forces a lot of matches can swing. You'll be dominating the whole match, your team gets wiped because they're being a bunch of kill hungry idiots, and then you lose the match, and it just stinks. Now, destroying player controlled vehicles in one battle. This one is a million times easier in RB than it is in arcade, in my opinion. 6 is super reasonable to do. Now, again, you have to read it closely. It just says kill them in one battle. It doesn't say kill them in one tank. So if you have a decent lineup where you have 2 or 3 tanks, or however many tanks, you as long as you're getting kills and caps, you can respawn and get those kills done and over with super easy, as long as you're playing smart and kind of aggressive. The only way this one's going to be hard is if your team gets wiped, or if your team wipes the enemy team and you just don't see any enemies. So those are kind of some of the advice I can give you guys. I know this was it was not the shortest video, but it didn't run too long. A bunch of me talking and not too much action, but hopefully it helps you guys out. And definitely, if you have some advice, drop it in a comment in the comment section below. I'm actually going to leave a link to the Discord in the description too, if you want to join up. If you need some help with tasks, there's a bunch of guys there, including myself, that are willing to help people out with some tasks, and we'll get this done together. All right, guys. So, like I said, as with every video, if I helped you out, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, thumbs down. Subscribe for more stuff. Check me out on Twitch. It's the same name, twitch.tv/therealnapoleon. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.